We'll try it without music this time.
Okay,
We're
cool.
going live.
To talk about.
Hello, everybody who hung out. I know we have at least Merlin hopefully still with us. Sorry about some technical issues. It made me go live a little bit late. And I'm going to do something I shouldn't really do. And I'm going to share this. I just want to copy this really quickly. And then we'll go into the Spinnerlands page. Baby Omega, why don't you say hi to everybody while I'm sending out a quick tweet?
Hello, everybody that is here, which is at least Merlin. And today we'll be hitting up with the second episode of the Into the Splinterverse, where we talk with you guys about our favorite metaverse or the Splinterverse with all its glory.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a town hall to talk about today.
No,
That
I'm sure
means,
we still have a lot of things to talk about.
yeah, but there's still a lot to talk about, I think. Did you have anything in particular you wanted to start with?
Well, I mean, I'm thinking we haven't talked much about Messi, and I think that might turn out to be one of the big things coming up very shortly, which goes a little bit under the radar because I was reading some articles that Inter Miami now is like a third or somewhere in the top um, clubs by following in US in total, not in MLS. Total Sports. They will comparison with the Patriots, which has like five something million followers, while Inter Miami already have 6 million followers. And any attention to MLS, I think is good for us. So, what do you
Yeah,
think?
and um, the question is, and here's the big question. Sorry, all of a sudden I wish I would have grabbed a cup of water before I came in here. I got so distracted with the trying to get the stream running, guys. I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna try to maybe do a different setup next week because I have issues with this one, but we're doing okay, I think. But the thing I heard, the one little salt I heard about that was that we don't know if he's going to be joining the Players Association, and our deal isn't with the MLS; it's with the Players Association. And if Lionel Messi decides not to join it for some reason, I don't know, maybe because he has his own PR firm, he has his own reason for not wanting to be included in things like this. Um, he could not, and then we wouldn't get the card for him. And if we
Yeah,
don't
okay.
get the
Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
card, I think it hurts us a little.
Yes, but he will still get the eyeballs on the league, which is huge. And yeah, we don't know. I was thinking like every player should be part of the player association. I don't know how things work, but even if he's not, just him being a player in MLS will increase the overall MLS watching viewer base, I think, and then there will be more potential people interested in finding games around MLS, I think. So it might be huge either way.
So we don't give out financial advice here, but it sounds like you're thinking that at under a penny, GLX might be a deal.
Um, well, I don't know if yeah, I don't know if GLX is a deal because I mean GLX is just part of it. I'm thinking if if again we're talking about a big if, but if he does actually join the player association, obviously the team cannot include him in the packs which have been already in sale because it would have been unfair to those who already opened the packs. But they can do just what they did with the Chaos Legion, having airdrops, thus incentivizing people to buy packs directly from the team. And that'll be huge. That can be huge. And I'm thinking, even though they said they want to stray away from giving rarities to players, just so they don't offend anybody, I'm thinking with Messi, nobody will think that him being a legendary card would be something out of the ordinary. So I don't know. I mean, obviously we don't know much, but that is what we can speculate on. That's exactly what we're doing here.
Yeah, I would agree with you. They could do it that way. They could drop him as an airdrop at a certain amount of pack spot. That would probably be a good promotional thing, getting people to start buying packs again, rewarding those of you who've already bought packs. They could also do it in another way and do a promo sale. That's probably less rewarding to the current community that is in. So I like what you've outlined better. Um, I do think they need to get the game out and working before they worry about adding him to the game. I just think that right now, um, if he, if they, I don't think a promo sale, maybe an airdrop would be fine. Because if they tried to say, hey, we want to do a promo sale for a Messi, um, and ask us to come and spend more money on the game before we can even play the game, that probably wouldn't go over pretty well.
Yeah, and well, I mean, obviously there are a lot of ways they can go about it. And just before we continue, yeah, I will take that thumbs up as my mic is already better. But also to greet my friend Volsena who also joined us. I don't know if you remember him from Splinterfest, but
I, I met a lot of people at
I know,
Splinterfest.
I know.
I the problem is, and I don't think he probably introduced himself as Vozana, and I without a, so I don't know if I remember seeing him or not.
Yeah, I think we
um,
were together when we came to you. But anyways, yeah, it was one of the tall guys, like another tall Bulgarian guy.
okay, okay. I felt so short at Splinterfest. It was kind of funny, and it's like I am not a tall person, but I've never felt so short
Oh,
around a
me
group of
too.
gamers.
I also don't consider myself short, but yeah, there I was feeling a little bit under,
Yeah, because
down under.
I spent the most time with Rogue and Jim, who are both over 6 foot tall. Like I think Jim's like 6'4" and Rogue's like 6'3". And then Virus, who's pretty tall, was with us too. So I'm like walking around feeling like a midget the whole time because that was the main group of people I hung out with. I did to go to some of the bigger like group dinners, and obviously I was in the event and stuff. But it was fun. It was interesting for me because I actually had like strangers coming up and going like, "Hey, can we take a picture with you?" Once they recognized who I was, and so that was kind of fun. And
You
that was
felt like
happening in front of,
celebrity.
yeah, that was happening in front of my wife, and she was like chuckling the whole time. She's like, "You're famous, huh?" And I'm like, "Well, not really. Only in this room."
Well, I mean, at least,
But
yeah, fun times. I don't
yeah,
know
but
when.
the one thing I was really bullish on the idea of Genesis League Sports, but I think one of the problems I have sometimes about getting overly bullish on these things is that I envision a future that always can't be realized. Because, like, in my mind, you create this little phone game, you create this little currency, you allow that currency to work almost like rewards points when it comes to the local teams, i.e., if I play this game enough, I can use my coins to buy a jersey. I can use my coins to buy a jacket. I can use it to go buy an official soccer ball that's colored with the team's stuff. And then if that was a reality, I think this would be 100% winner. The problem is, I think that it's if it's only a cryptocurrency and it's a cryptocurrency that can be used to purchase things within the Genesis Sports League ecosystem, perhaps. I don't know how fully it'll be integrated into Splinterlands yet. I don't think they've totally explained that yet. And I don't think it's been, except for that you could buy credits, I believe. Um, and then I don't know if it'll be integrated at all into Chibis or if there's going to be cross promotions at all. So the thing I worry is like, I'm at a soccer game and I'm playing this game, and I'm at the local Galaxy game, and I'm playing it on my phone, and I'm even using players from the Galaxy, and I'd love to show the people next to me, hey, have you seen this game? You can play it, and you can earn this free coin, and then they're going to be like, well, what can you do with that coin? And I'm going to be like, well, you're going to need to get a Hive account so that you can join tribal decks. so you can trade it for other tokens. So eventually you can use some kind of off ramp to put money in your account, and they're gonna have already gone bah, and walked away from me,
Well,
and
yeah, but
that's what
sorry,
I'm worried
I
about.
ha I have to stop you there because you that's not how you tell them you win a coin. When they ask you, oh, it's a cool game, what can you do? You can earn money. You start with that. And then once you pick their interest, they're more willing to hear you going through opening up a Hive account and getting into crypto and whatnot because you've already grabbed their interest. But I totally agree that it's a good idea if down the line they implement things like, well, see, but that's the problem that there, as you mentioned, there the deal is not with the MLS in general. It's not with the clubs. It's just with the players. So it will be hard to get team stuff probably, but they can totally get like autograph from this player or some signing session with this player or exclusive event with the players or whatnot. But I think it will be when it comes to merchandise, I think it will be harder to achieve since they don't really own any of the players of the team's logos and stuff like that. But it's a cool idea. I agree.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely it's a cool idea. I like the idea of Messi joining the MLS. It's bullish for the general MLS. That's bullish for a general MLS game in the cryptocurrency world. Also, the other thing it does is it brings some international attention to the MLS, and so we might have a better shot of pulling in some people where earning a coin not worth as much money would still be intriguing to them, because if I tell the kid in America that you can play this game and maybe you could win about $4 to $5 a day, he might not be super excited. He might be, but if I tell somebody in maybe a country where $4 or $5 is more impactful, then they're gonna kind of come. And I mean, we've seen that in crypto. If a game can be successful and having a coin that can be earned by playing it, people will come from a place where that money makes a difference to them, and then that inflates your user base, and then it's a little easier to sell it to that kid that's playing, that's maybe not making that much money, because now it's not you're making money, it's your you can compete with 100,000 people who are MLS fans and try to have the best team. And then all
Yeah,
of a
and I
sudden,
was
that
sorry, I was
kid,
going. Sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was getting at that reminded me of I was going to say a little bit earlier about these draft tournaments that people are organizing all the time. These draft plays like fantasy sports, fantasy leagues, where they compete and then they don't necessarily win anything. I know some competitions they do, but most is just like as you said, healthy competition between friends, and that also can be a gateway into the game.
Yeah, yeah, that could be, but because the game is going to be a competitive nature, competing against all the people that are out there, hopefully there'll be the ability to like target somebody and challenge a friend. And certainly, if somebody gets into the game and they have their own stadium and they can show their friends, people coming and playing matches within their stadium, and get their friends kind of excited to see like who's going to have the coolest stadium and things like that, that'll help. I do think that if you can get a big player base and you can build on the competitive nature of the kids with dads who are willing to buy them MLS stuff and buy them, credits within this game, because they should have a way to convert. I know, hopefully, they can bring. Um, I know the PayPal into Splinterlands got a little messed up, but if there's a way to bring in cash that is easy enough, then we could see some, you know, I don't know. It's almost kind of weird though. Like, can teenagers play? Can they buy it? Because I'm thinking like when I was a kid, if I could have played a soccer game, well, I mean I wasn't as big as into soccer, but a little basketball game at home where I was earning a little bit of money, um, and being able to use the players of my favorite basketball team, I definitely would have been interested in doing that, and I probably would have, dedicated some of that money that was given to me to buy comic books and, do my entertainment stuff into this ecosystem. Um, But I'm just hoping we can get enough people into it to be able to pique their interest. Because I do think if you're gonna say, "Come play this game," because you could be one of the best, they don't want to. They're not going to be interested if there's 10,000 players. They're going to be more interested if there's 100,000 players or 200,000 players, and that would be kind of interesting um, to see. I mean, I'm definitely interested. The game needs to come out though. It needs to be fun, and then we need to see the current players that they said that they've already recorded promotional videos with to do it, and then hopefully we'll hear some news on if Messi's being added to the game at some point after that. I just don't think it'll be too immediate.
Oh, of course. Yeah, the transfer doesn't didn't hasn't even happened yet. But on your point earlier, I think a lot of people here, as younger, they were used or interested in buying collectible cards, and that's also one side of it, like the collector's point, where what is the difference between buying physical gathering the magic packs and digital Genesis League packs? I mean, some of them maybe just buy them for having a digital copy of their favorite player or whatnot, which also can be a factor. And I'm thinking also they can be custom leagues down the line if they gauge that that might be something that can attract players, like competitions between friends and whatnot. They can make like I'm sure it's not that difficult to make custom leagues where you can create a league with all your players and you compete between yourself. Something like the tournaments in Splinterlands, the custom tournaments.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Definitely that kind of stuff could work. Again, I think the big thing with goals is they need to get it out. They need to get it playable. Oh, I lost your audio. Let me see what happened.
You did?
Yeah. Oh no, no. You know what? Never mind. I got to be careful at which stream I'm watching. I forgot that the live is a little bit delayed.
Okay.
But switching topics a little bit, the Great Burn has passed 500 million DEC and DECB. I have officially been pushed all the way down to 251, which means with the top 200 for that title being up at 1.6 million points, I don't think I'm going to try to push for that because I don't really want to burn that much more DEC. And instead, I'm just going to see what these guys are willing to dump one of those titles for because they should be
Yeah.
tradable. Because if I
I,
can get it for less than about 300,000 DEC at this point, it would be better to do that. And I don't know if they're going to trade at over, roughly $250.
hey, we have
Um,
Darkest Night in the house.
oh, hey, Darkest Night. Thanks for checking it out, man. Darkest Night and what's his name? Aftersound had an interesting Twitter town hall I listened to this morning.
Yeah?
Um, I don't think that many people got into that, but or it's Twitter Spaces, and if they're going to start doing that, it'd be really cool. Sorry, I couldn't talk with you guys, Darkest Night, but Aftersound does all his stuff while I'm at work in the office, and so I can't join any of it usually and actually partake in the debate. And it's funny because I was listening, and so many times I was like, I want to step in. Um,
Yeah.
like he had an interesting idea, and I'll throw it by you since he threw it by them. He wanted to know if maybe we could actually take the promo cards and do a proposal to make it so that they are always valid within the game. And it was kind of funny to hear him say that. Um, let's see here.
Like never going out of modern?
Yeah, like never go out of modern. Like basically, you could always use all of these cards, and I think I have to go to all cards because I don't own all the promo cards anymore. Technically I do own these cards, but they're on my rental account, most of them, except for I don't have a Shinlo anymore, and I never got a Drick, and I never got an Archmage Arius. But he was saying basically because he has his Archmage Arius, he is pretty set on the idea
Well,
that
I'll be okay with that. Being able to play my Delwyn. I'm definitely going to be okay with that.
Yeah, yeah. So we'd be able to play Delwins. I have a couple Delwins. They're just on the rental accounts. I have a Red Dragon. I'd have to turn on gold, and then you can see my Lux. But
Yeah, nice.
the the idea was kind of interesting. I think Archmage would be a little too powerful in modern.
Oh, but
One of
how
the
many
things I would
people
have
do have?
what
How many people do have Archmaester? And how many of those
oh
people actually are
well
playing in modern?
well I'm just saying the reason why I thought he would be so powerful is because something that we have more in modern than they ever had in wild are monsters with two forms of attack. There are a lot more, melee archers in the game at this point, and he'd be buffing them all to attack.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty wild, but it might be okay because you're right. There aren't that many in the game. I don't even remember how many are in existence. Let's see. There's one for sale for $12,500. That's
Yeah, good luck with
actually
that.
not that ridiculous, but there,
For some people, probably it's probably peanuts, but yeah.
yeah, and there's a couple that are out for rental and stuff. But he did say his main thing that reason for this is because it would kind of help give a reason to buy promo cards. Because if you look at promo cards, there's been kind of a hit and the miss on whether or not people have even taken part in the sales.
Yeah.
Zuriel, people didn't even really do. I combined that, huh? I didn't remember combining that. That's interesting. I wonder if I did that on accident. Oh, wait. What is this? Huh. I thought I kept my extras as singles. Sorry. I don't remember doing that. But then again, maybe it was a night I was playing and I didn't remember. I think I maybe planned to rent the card out, so I maxed it out. But, oh well. Ah, there's
Yeah.
87. Darkest Night knows. He is an owner of one of them, so it makes sense that he would know. It's an interesting idea. I think, I'd read some of the comments on what people thought. I like the idea of them always being used. At the same time, though, the community might be against it because there's only 87 Archmage Ariuses. There's only, so many of the Mighty Drickens, and these are cards that realistically the newer player has no chance of getting, whereas they all had a chance to get Zerial. They didn't all have a chance to get Blight, and Blight's going to be around for a while. The Chain Golem's an interesting card. The Halfling Alchemist is pretty much one of the only cards in the game with Halflings, so to move that into Modern would be kind of crazy. It would definitely
Not
change
already.
out the meta of certain things.
We have the bear already, so it used to be. Now we have the bear, which is pretty accessible.
What the heck is going on?
With what?
My cards. Did I do something silly? Let me check something.
Maybe you were sleepwalking.
Oh my goodness, something bad happened.
Did you press combine all by any
I
chance?
I don't remember ever pressing combine all, but it looks like that's what happened. Why did that happen? When did I press that button? That's pretty upsetting, actually.
I'm sure I know how particular you are to not combine cards unless you can get them a level up.
Because, like, all my Chaos Legion stuff, I had random extra copies of it, and now, like, yeah, you see, like, there's 36. I would never do that to a card on purpose.
Yeah, I know. I know you. That's why I'm understanding that that's the only way it could have happened. Maybe you were trying to. No, maybe it was just by misclick.
How would I misclick that button and confirm it? Don't you have to confirm that button?
Yeah, Steve, I'm worried about you. Have you been drinking lately?
I don't even drink.
Well, I mean, that would make it even, dangerous. Even more dangerous if you have drank.
Yeah, no, I don't drink really at all. I don't know what happened. That is super disappointing. I'm actually kind of upset. I don't know what caused that to happen.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry.
and the weird thing is I feel like it's this toolbox. So I'm gonna uninstall it, and I definitely won't be putting it on here again. Um, because it does weird things, and I think it has a way for you to combine your cards, and I think Baron did that as a good thing for some people, but I was trying it out again because he does good things for the community, but I think it just caused me to somehow combine all of my cards. Oh my god, I did it even to my old beta cards. Like
Well,
why do I want a level 4 archers?
obviously didn't. While we are in intermission, I just want to briefly say to Mr. Vozena, get your bros in because they just popped up like before we start the stream. So don't miss your spot, Vozena. And on Darkest Night question, I feel like I'm getting less and less cards, and it sucks. But then again, we were having pretty good drop rates in the beginning, so I'm glad that happened. And it was, I think, inevitable for them to nerf them at some point, to nerf the drop rate of the cards, because it seems like some people, especially with purchasing additional energy or getting pretty close to filling their collection pretty fast, which wasn't the intended design at the beginning. So I think, as much as it sucks, I guess I could have seen it coming, and yeah, I think that it's kind of normal because obviously it was with everything in the game, with mostly everything in the game, it's about trial and error. They try some things and then they adjust it accordingly. So it sucks, but then again, I'm expecting to have even less chests once SPS taken is implemented. So it is what it is. I'm glad that I've came that far with collecting soulbound cards, Darkus.
Yeah, look, it did it to all my Gladius cards too.
Well, yeah, I mean,
That
once you
that
press
doesn't
red
really
button,
matter, but yeah, it definitely got pressed, and I don't know. I never pressed that on purpose. The ones that I'm just bummed about are like the Chaos Legion cards. Like I was holding a couple extra Narissas, and now they're leveled, and I was holding like a couple extra of like a lot of the summoners.
yeah,
Um,
I can see how it sucks. But maybe that will push you into selling the extras and then doing something with the money, getting rid of
oh,
all
what a
the weird.
bummer! But as far as Darkest Nights questions goes about Soulbounds, I absolutely agree that something has happened. Like if I look at my last drop, right, I paid a little bit extra DEC, and because not really to get extra chests, because I wanted to play the other day, and I felt pretty good because I got into a pretty good winning streak, and I pushed myself up to 13 chests for the day, and then you do this. And I mean, that's not terrible because I got a gold epic, I got another epic, I got 7 summoners, but I got 5 out of 13, which is maybe 33%. I'd have to double check on that. It's close. Um, but let's see, 5 divided by 13, we're at 38%. I guess this one was a bad example, but because I got that 5, and obviously it's going to be over a lot and under a lot on that 33. But it definitely does feel like a lot of days you get a lot more potions than you should, and that would be
Yeah,
what this is was going to be an example of. I didn't realize I did okay on the cards,
you
but
did
but
because I opened five. This morning I opened five champion chests, and the results were as following: 37 legendary potions, 172 merits, 43 alchemy potions, 42 alchemy potions, and 33 alchemy potions. that was my five champion chests. So it could have been worse, Steve, believe me.
Yeah, and I was a little zoned out because I was so bummed out about the fact that that button got pressed. That button should be hidden. I don't know how that happened, but the I agree with you. I think you were saying that the that the drop rates seem to be lower, and it almost feels like they overcorrected because it took us a while to get them to admit on a town hall that they did make a change. Because in the past they were saying there was no change, but they were kind of lying because there was a change, but the change was because they were giving us too many. And so I don't know if they lowered it to the right amount. On my rewards videos that I've done, I've usually talked about how I don't really seem to pull 33%. A lot of the times, if I only earn 10 chests, sometimes I only get one or two cards. I am supposed to have a much lower chance to get potions, but I still had 6 potions on those rewards. And so it does feel like we were getting too many, and now they've lowered it quite a bit. Um, in general, though, I'm kind of okay with it. I mean, I know my account, I do play at Champion 1 for a good amount of the season. I was spending DEC for extra energy. Um, oh, man. Luckily, I didn't press that button after I got more soulbounds, huh? That would have made me cry a lot. Um,
And also, good thing that you had some rented out or delegated or whatever it was.
Well,
You got
they're on another account, yeah. So it
yeah,
only the only thing that really I got hit on were like a couple betas that were I was holding a couple copies of, which that really kind of sucks because I was never gonna level those. But
yeah.
the Untamed, because I've been opening packs, so I had like a bunch of singles. I mean not Untamed, Chaos Legion. But I don't know what I was gonna do with those. But I certainly wasn't gonna level them into a new card. You know, I was like saving them up to maybe level up one of the current cards. So I don't know. Maybe it'll make me go buy some Chaos Legion pet cards to fill it up. But
Well, I mean,
now,
you have enough packs to drop. You don't need to buy.
oh no, I'm not opening those packs. I'm one of those weird person that's gonna hold on to some just in case they're ever worth more money.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going to buy, it's not the same.
No, the
Then
cards are super cheap,
oh,
and I
you mean
can
buy cards? Okay. Yeah.
yeah no, I mean buy cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because if I'll have to push them all at least to the next even level. Maybe I don't know who buys cards that are like not at an even level. Very few people.
Or
So,
at least the next ability.
but I mean, the thing I was going to get to here is if I look through my set, it's getting pretty complete. Of course, I have that one stupid card I don't even own one copy of in the Dragon team. So the actual
Relics.
legendary dragon, I have none of those. Epics
Yeah.
are going to be wild trying to get those.
Yeah.
Man, so this happened while we are on stream somehow. I'll have to watch back the stream and see if I hit the button.
It wasn't me, I promise. I haven't touched your cards.
but but yeah, the only reason why is because I got a copy of one of these cards in my pool. Oh no, but it still could have happened last night. I have no idea what happened. Very strange. I wonder if I'll be able to look through the blockchain and look when that button was pressed. I should be able to, huh?
Probably you should be. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, peak monsters. Let's see, guys. Let's
Today,
download.
guys, we are investigating what happened with Steve's account and how he hacked himself.
Uh,
Cards combined.
Cards combined 15 minutes ago. A day ago. Yeah, wait. It had to have been this. Right? Yeah, so 15 minutes ago, somehow I hit that button. I'll have to watch the playback.
Oh, but you
Try
have
to.
also a day ago, a day ago, a day ago. You have
Yeah,
cards.
but these are going to be my new gladiators. Like, I did this on
Oh,
purpose.
oh, okay.
Like, when I had a good gladiator pack opening the other day, and I was able to level up some of my gladiators. So I got her to level 2. I got the legendary from Earth to level 2 finally, and then I got this guy to level 3. I actually tweeted that out. I don't know if you saw it. I don't think you really go on Twitter
My
as
Twitter
much,
is
right?
banned.
Yeah, because
My Twitter
you
is
got yourself
suspended.
banned. So here, I'll show
They
you
don't.
the.
They don't. Elon Musk doesn't want me on his platform.
Yeah, this was my gladiator pull on 9 packs the other day. So I
Oh,
did
nice.
use
That's two quarters.
yeah, I got 2 more Quoras, so
Wow.
I'm actually getting close to having a level 4 Quora.
Wow.
This
I'm
one
so
here
envious.
and this one, both of those let me move them from level 1 to level 2. And then I got a couple copies of him, which let me push him to level 3. And I actually was happy I only got 1 gold card because I'm not trying to level up the gold cards.
Yeah.
Um,
Damn, I'm jealous about your quarters, man.
yeah, that's why I like the new gladiator rule set. It made me kind of happy because I actually have a pretty high level Quora.
Yeah.
Um, See, she's level
Yeah,
three,
good
five,
good point.
5 out of 10.
Good point from Vozen. Check, did you sell any cards? I mean, you have to you have to,
Oh
at this point
no,
have to
no,
check it.
I didn't get hacked because there's only one transfer. Nothing is missing. I
Okay.
just apparently hit the combine all cards button. I
And that
mean,
was during the stream.
yeah, and it was during the stream, and I have no idea how I did that. The only thing I
Well,
would could thinking if I went back is when I was trying to hit promo. Oh, I don't even have a card, so it doesn't. No, it's way down here though.
yeah.
So how would I? How would I? Because I was trying to show the promo cards, right? So I went to here, I hit promo, and I was going through here, and then I needed to change this to all cards. Did I somehow hit combine all when that happened? I don't know, but it's not the end of the world because luckily I didn't have any of my old alphas or betas single. My alpha singles weren't here really, and the only thing that's really kind of even a bummer, um, are these cards. Like this card here, the Silver Chilled Archers, and like the Molten Ogre and the Dwarf, because I wouldn't have leveled those. And I didn't want to. These are like my silly animated corpses that I got from
Yeah.
playing Luthien, and now I accidentally combined them. I
Yeah,
had a
yeah,
running tally of
let's
17.
see. Just show what on stats what is happening at level 5. Just curious. Is
Of what?
anything happening? Yeah,
Oh, and this?
stats. Yeah,
Well,
nothing.
nothing.
Okay,
He a
one
speed.
thing.
No, he gets a speed, but I mean it's a useless card. Nobody's buying level 5 animated corpses.
Yeah.
No, my
Well, I
wife
was
couldn't have
thinking
done
of
it.
getting
My
some.
wife couldn't have done it by accident because it happened 15 minutes ago. Peak Monsters proved it. It's right here. It's this card combined 17 minutes ago. So it was on stream. Somehow I did that. And I immediately thought it was weird because I was like, why do I have 2 Zerials? I was purposely leaving this Zerial as singles because I was planning to list them to sell pretty soon.
And it did also happen 1 minute prior to you sending it to
Well, yeah,
your other
that's
account.
that's why I noticed. I was like, well, I don't know why I have this. I don't know why I leveled it up, but I'm like, if I did level it up, let me send it to the rental account so at least it can start getting rented,
Yeah,
hopefully, and earn me some money to make up for the fact that now when I want to sell it, I have to find somebody who wants to buy a maxed out copy, which is not what I
idea.
was planning to do.
Oh
Um,
well.
so yeah, that's a bummer. That is a bummer.
But it definitely did made up for an interesting, entertaining show at your
Yeah,
at your
live on
expense. Sorry about yeah.
live on stream. Steve hits the combine all button on accident, and it totally derails our entire stream. But yeah,
Maybe
I'm
you
like,
can rewatch the stream later and see when you actually did it.
I had to have hit it when I was playing with the filters. God, can we? I'm gonna put in a quality of life request for them to get rid of that stupid button.
Or to hide it somewhere deep.
Yeah, it's got to be hidden more deep than right here on the screen where you can hit it on accident. Because I
But
just
then again, there is a
proved
confirmation, so
I did, like I don't know. I wasn't watching myself super close, and apparently nobody else saw me do it because nobody was like, "Yeah, you just did that." But they might
Yeah,
have
I
not
can
been
see
paying
what
super
you mean.
close attention too. Another thing that happened, I guess we'll bring it up since I only got about like 10 minutes. I do have to end around 9, and I know I kind of messed up this show, but one of the things After Sound said is he was really not super happy about the fact that soulbound cards are going to be possibly usable on land. And I wanted to know kind of your opinion on that.
I just today I read similar discussion on Maverick's channel. People were discussing whether Soulbound should be and I'm thinking I'm totally fine with them being allowed on land. I mean, just like they're good cards to use. So if somebody puts them on land, it will be at the expense of them being able to use them in game, and we cannot sell them. We cannot do anything with them. So it's not like you can buy a bunch of soulbound cards to put them on your land. So I do get the idea that they want to get rid of the other cards, like to stake them in land and whatnot, and it a little bit devalues them. But at the end of the day, I don't think, especially with these low drop rates now, I don't think people actually putting cards that they're using a lot in land. So I don't know. To me, to be honest, I'm impartial. I don't think it's so game breaking or card price breaking. So to be honest, yeah, that's how I feel. Pretty neutral.
Yeah, I mean, I felt kind of, and I made a comment on Twitter that, like, to them and on his video too, where he brought this up. I was like, I think it's fine because, like, I'm taking a look and it's like, which one of these cards, when I get it maxed out, would I actually think about putting on land? The only ones are like maybe this little coyote because I don't use that like almost in any situation. Maybe this card, even though I know he has a use case and we talked about it before, it's too niche. So that's a neutral though, so he doesn't even get bonuses. So maybe I won't
And it's a
use
common.
him. Yeah, well, yeah, but still maxed out common. You know, it might be, the argument would be that I wouldn't, if I needed it, I won't buy a maxed out Chaos Legion common because I have this guy, this common, right? So it
And you
takes
have one.
those away.
Yeah, just think. I just my opinion is just there are not enough of them to be really affecting the whole staking. In my opinion, I don't know. Maybe I have the math all wrong, but I'm thinking people would need to buy cards regardless because, especially people with more plots, they wouldn't care if they can put one soulbound card in one of their plots because they still need to fill plenty and they can get higher returns on other cards.
Yeah, I mean, the only ones that I could see possibly using as of somebody who's probably going to have a complete set of a lot of these cards in about a month is maybe a couple of the summoners that I don't like. But even then, I doubt it because I still might start to want to use them more as I level my gladiators. So I'm not really going to want to lock them up. So it's literally the only thing I can talk about here is two cards. It's this one and this one. Everything else
And probably
is
the
so
summoners.
good.
I don't see myself using any of the summoners, to be honest.
Yeah,
Maybe maybe
I
the
think
Earth one for Quora, but that's about it.
yeah, I some people are going to say that, but I think that once I have them at level and I can start playing gladiators and I start having level 3 or level 4 legendary gladiators, assuming that happens, then it's going to be tempting. Only because, like, right now, you're not going to use the white card because even someone like me, my guild's not like the top tier guild, but these are probably higher level than most people have. But if I had Captain Katie and it was this, you know, a maxed out level 8 divine shield bloodlusting sniping archer with 5 magic damage, I might be inclined to use the summoner that lets me bring a gladiator to the field. I might even be inclined to use it here at level 6 because that is pretty normal for a card.
I get your point. It's just like, yeah, as you said, not a lot of people are at this level yet, and I don't think many will be anytime soon. So I just thinking at this point, though the summoners are not quite usable, they might be at some point, but maybe by that point we already have them unlocked and being able to be bought and whatnot. So maybe there'll be a good starting point for people joining the game. But we have some people coming at the
Yeah, we
end of
should
our
probably say hi to Bro and Sis makes videos and
and
Tails is
Finster
hanging
is
out
here.
with us
Yeah.
and Young. Thanks guys for coming in. I'm sorry you if you're showing up more as we're nearing the end of this stream. Um, you also missed out on me accidentally combining all of my cards and having a mini heart attack earlier tonight. Not awesome.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
trying to
yeah.
understand.
See, young sweetheart found it. I don't know how I clicked it and clicked confirm. The only thing I could think of is I was looking at the chat while I was doing something. So
Oh,
dangerous
see,
sharing your own screen apparently, guys. Dangerous.
but
But now
you at least you
now
got one
I'm gonna
investigator who
be
found
I'm gonna be so OCD with all these green lines. I hate them. And the worst part is, I can't do anything about it. Like, I can't even go out and buy 7 of these or 12 of these to get him to the next level.
Well, you heard them eventually, so I'm trying to
Oh.
understand. There is one comment here. Didn't Diablo say that there will be possible changes done with soulbound cards in the future, possibly if it doesn't result in wealth leaking out of the game? Does he mean the unlocking?
Yeah, he means unlocking. We don't know how unlocking will work. We know Aggie wants to let them unlock at some point. Matt agrees. They just haven't decided how to do it. The most obvious way to do it and not have it have wealth leak out of the game tremendously is to make you pay to unlock them. The reason why that means that nobody can unlock them without making an investment into the game. We don't know how much you'd have to pay to unlock them,
And it
but
will be burn.
yeah, and then the other thing I've theorized, and this comes from things they've said in the town halls, but obviously I'm not always correct because they say things, and until it's in an official post, it's not official. But Matt has said a couple times, like after you get to max level. So I think what's going to happen, and this is why I'm so glad, like I didn't have the combine all at least can't push extra cards into a legendary and over level it. So I got
Yeah.
lucky on that on a couple things. But the now that I have this card at max level, if I pull more copies of this, that at some point I'd be able to pay some DEC and unlock this card to be sellable. And then someone like you who maybe hasn't pulled enough of this card can buy it. But it's also going to set a minimum price on these cards and make them relatively expensive because they're only going to be being sold by people who have a max level card because I think that's going to be a requirement to do unlocking, and they're going to um, probably also make you pay DEC. So let's say I have to pay 5,000 DEC to mint her, and I have to have a max level card, which means, well, that means that if I am going to have maybe 6, 7 extra copies in the future, I'll mint them all out. I'll pay 30, 40,000 DEC, but the minimum I'll sell it for is a price that'll get me back, the 5,000 DEC and some profit. So it's going to put these cards at being kind of a premium. Um, yeah,
Well,
young. I didn't get too hurt by the combine all. It just really ruined some old beta cards I was holding and some Chaos Legion cards that I wasn't planning on combining. But it's not the end of the world. Luckily, I didn't have any. I didn't have like 1 BCX Doctor Blights on the account or anything. Um,
yeah, you know my opinion about the unlocking.
so the reason why, and I know some people are going to push back about this, about you have to having a max level one, and Tails is already pushing back on that thought. The reason why I think they want to include that is because I think they want to give us this set for 2 years. And so how do you give a set of Soulbound Rewards cards for 2 years without making anybody complain? Well, you make it so that it's going to take around 2 years for silver and gold players to get close to having max level cards. And then the champion level players and high diamond players are going to do it way earlier, so they're going to reap the better benefit of selling those cards to either new players or the gold and silver players, the silver and gold players who can um, that need, I don't know, 10 more copies of a card, right, to get it to the max level, and they might go out and buy those 10 just so they can get it to max level. That way the next time they pull it in a chest, they'll be able to unlock it and sell it. And so I think that's a better way to do it, because if you let everybody pay, if all of us, including the bot accounts, can don't need to have one at max level before you can sell it, then every BCX that is minted is able to come onto the market. And I don't think that that is a good thing to do, because then the cards are going to be basically at whatever they cost to mint plus maybe 1%, and the market is going to be flooded with them. Whereas if you do it the way I'm saying, it won't. But go ahead, tell me what you're thinking.
Yeah. Uh, Look at it from another perspective. What is the dream the team actively trying to do in the past 3, 4, 5 months? I'll answer you with a question. So, what do you think the team is trying to do in the past 3, 4, 5 months? Like most notably, what is the
Um,
big event that we're having today? I mean, this month.
Land.
No, Bernie.
Oh,
So,
Bernie. They're trying to get DEC out of the market.
yeah. So all of these BCXs that are going to come from being soulbound to being tradable, they all come with amounts of DC being burned. The more cards come out of the soulbound state, the more DC is going to be burned. So you think it's minuscule on a small level, but when you combine, as you said, all bots and everybody that's going to do that, that is going to be a lot of DC burned, man. I think you
No,
underestimate.
because it'll only burn to demand for the card. So right, there's only so much demand for this card, and so people aren't going to mint it for 5,000 DEC when there's 100 of them on the market. They're just not
Well,
going
you
to
can be
do it.
sure. You can be sure that the bots are going to mint every single copy of
Oh,
whatever they want.
no. If you're a bot runner and you can't sell something, you're not going to pay money to mint it. If it's just going to sit there on the market with 10,000 or 15,000 copies of, I don't have any single copies of anything, but you think if they had if people mint out 30, 40, 50,000 copies of the Ferox Defender, and it cost them, you know 3 or 4 dollars a copy to mint, that there's going to be enough demand to buy those. Now maybe they can make them super cheap to mint, but what's the point of that? So that there's 40,000 of these for sale? I mean, that's not a good look. I mean, there's 7,000 of this card for sale and it's only a penny. If there was I mean, there are absurd amounts of these cards out there. And the only way to keep them at a decent value and rewarding to people for playing the game and earning them is to make sure that not too many people can mint them.
Yeah,
Now,
but then it's
maybe the requirement wouldn't be a max level card. Maybe they'll make it a level 6 card, or like a gold level max for the card, or something, or some kind of a maximum BCX that you've combined. And they could pick a number for a common, pick a number for a rare, pick a number. Because if they don't do that, if they don't make you actually use your soulbound cards that were supposed to come to your account, and they let you sell every single one of them, if they actually made that decision, I'd be extremely disappointed with the team for the first time ever. Because that is literally rewarding people for doing the exact thing that they say they don't want you to do. What if they said over and over again they want to get us to do? Combine cards. They want you to combine cards. They want you to burn cards. They want to. That's what that we need more of. We need more players who don't play with level 1 cards or level 2 cards or level 3 cards. That they actually level them all the way up. So why are they gonna, you know, let somebody who decided to never combine any of his soulbound cards mint them all and sell them?
all I can say one I can see one reason because we are looking at the whole ecosystem as a closed system where no new players will ever come, and also the numbers that you're seeing on the market, those are pre-land and pre-tower defense numbers, and we don't know how those numbers are going to look after those things happen. So it's at this point, it's even that part is a speculation because all of a sudden it may turn out that there is not enough cards on the market, and the only way for new players who actually join after they're out of print, the only way to get them will be just to buy them. Because when they go out of print, a new set will be introduced, but those cards are only going to be able to come from the market for anybody who is joining. So I'm thinking, I personally am optimistic and bullish in general about new people coming into the game. So my perspective is from that point that the demand will be there, maybe not straight away, not straight when they're out of print, but I don't think they'll be that unsellable or just there will be zero interest in them. If we're looking from the perspective of the current position, yeah, probably because everybody is earning them. But I'm still hoping that we're just a fraction of the ecosystem as in compared to the years down the road.
Yeah, I admit if the game blew up and a lot more players come in, they would have to do some kind of adjustment because the amount of cards that we have are not enough for a lot more players. I'll admit that, but that can always be fixed by a new release. Um, and now that we have a DAO, we could technically even do like a vote to just mint more Chaos Legion packs. We did a vote to burn them. I don't see why we couldn't just do a vote to say, you know what, there's a huge player base here, mint
Yeah,
mint us
I'm
X amount of
pessimistic
packs
that
and
that will
stuff
ever
like that.
happen.
But I just don't see a world where you're able to play this game for 2 years, farming those cards, holding them all as single BCX, and being allowed to mint them. Because they never even promised us this would be possible. It's still all theoretical.
Yeah, it
And
is.
it's, so they might not even do it. And if they don't even do it, that means if at this mind it's even possible that they never let us mint these, then they've already came to the realization that they don't care if players a year from now can get these cards. They just don't care. It's obvious. A new player coming in at that time, you can get what's for sale because there should be a new set for sale. You can earn the new Soulbound reward cards. We're going to do our best to balance the game out, but you're just not going to be able to get the old Soulbound reward cards the way it is today because there is no minting function. And then the reason why I say I've heard Matt every time that Aggie has talked about unlock. If you go back and look at the town halls, he has says something about if you have a maxed one, if you have leveled it up, you after you have maxed it. He said this multiple times. So in his mind, the only way he's going to allow it, in my opinion, is if you have a maxed copy, and it makes sense to me because even even a gold player is going to have a max copy of a couple of the legendaries because he's going to get lucky and he's going to open up one or two of the legendaries more than he's going to open up other ones, especially if they give these away for 2 years. I mean, because I'm going to have a max set before the 1 year mark. I don't know why Tails is saying it's going to take him, but I think Tails might play in Diamond. But the thing is, he's putting how long it's going to take him to get max leveled cards without buying any of mine. Let's say at the 1 year mark, they say if you have a max level card, you can start minting them. And then I can start minting my extras because I'm going to start getting extras here in about 2 to 3 months at the current drop rates of at least a couple of the cards. Because if I go to here and I can't hit combine all anymore. I'm on the market. But if I go to my own Soulbound, I'm literally I'm like 4 copies from this being maxed. I'm still like 80 copies from these being maxed. I've got one legendary maxed. My other legendaries, I've got this guy at level 3 with a couple cards, so he'll be level 4 soon. This one's level 3 with a couple cards. This one's level 3 with a couple cards. So, yeah, sure, I'm never going to have the dragon. Um,
It's a strong
so,
word.
so somebody else is going to have to. Wait, what was I going to say? All cards. Um, I don't know. How do you do it again? You just do soulbound,
So
right? Yeah. I'm never going to have this card, so I'm going to have to buy it off somebody else that got a lot of them. Um, and stuff. And I just feel like that if they did it that way, there'd still be plenty that would come into the marketplace. But instead of having tens of thousands or 20 of thousands, you're going to have thousands. Like just a few thousand. Because like a player like me, I'm going to get on the commons, I'm probably going to get an extra 200 copies. And I'll look to sell them all. Especially if we're earning these for 2 years. And, you know, there's a whole group of players in Champion that are going to have around 200 to 300 of each of these commons to sell. And to me, that is enough. We don't need the guy who saved up 300 copies to be able to mint his. I just don't, and I don't see who it benefits. Who does that benefit besides that guy to let him sell those cards and dilute the price of the cards that are already on the market? And maybe it helps the people that can buy slightly cheaper cards
Yeah, I'm
because
just
there's
seeing
more supply.
a lot of people being salty about that. I understand you being happy with the opposite if that's not the case, but yeah, I think that will be very long and controversial topic, and obviously we're just speculating here. But uh,
Yeah, the thing is, if they don't reward the people who are playing at the higher league for the longer time, and instead allow somebody who was running a bot farm, maybe at a slight loss, playing with level 2 cards the whole time, to get more benefit from this than the Me's or the Darkest Nights or even the Tails or the U's, who are playing with like one good leveled account. Um, then to me they're making a mistake. You need to cater to your top players. You need to cater to the people who are spending money more than you need to cater to the people who are trying to get a deal. Because if you're always catering to those people, the game's not gonna it's not gonna succeed. The prices are never gonna go up. Because you know, think about it. Me as a champion player who loves the game, if I can mint copies of these cards and I can sell these like for a legit good amount of money, what am I going to probably do with that money? I'm going to put it right back into Splinterlands. I
yeah,
hardly ever take money out of the game.
likewise.
If you reward the bot farmer, he's just going to dump it all and take it all out because that's what they do.
Yeah, just unfortunately, the bot farmers are operating in a field where majority of players are operating as well. So by trying to hurt the bot farms, you're actually hurting legit players who are just maybe, as you said, maybe they're having a silver level of one card and a gold level of the same card, and they just need just one of them. But with the other, they can sell it and they can use that money to upgrade their deck in whatever way. So it just, I do get your point. I agree. I mean, if you ask me, I'm okay either way, but I'm just seeing it as many people being feeling like, you recently said that people hate you because you're well. I mean, that can only exponentially increase if it's like, oh, okay, they're well, so they can sell soulbound cards, or they can sell their extras, and we're stuck with both regular and gold foil of the same card, which we cannot do anything with. Get my point?
Well, I see your point, but to them, I'm just going to say, too bad, so sad, upgrade your cards. But I'm going to
Okay.
say that because Splinterlands is not a charity. It's a competitive TCG game. And
Well, yeah, but
I
they,
understand, you know, I don't expect extremely poor people to be here. If you're an extremely poor person playing this game hoping to make some income off of it, then you can do whatever you need to do. More power to you. I don't mind that you're here, and if you can make money playing the game that's helping your life, congratulations. But I've said this to other people. Those aren't the players we need. I hope we can support those players, I hope my money that I'm willing to put into the game can support them a bit, because that's pretty cool if it can. But we need the guys who are going to come in and they're going to whale out and they're going to get a whole bunch of SPS and stake it, and they're going to buy thousands of packs. We need the Jeff's Opens cards. We need the Darkest Knights who are just going to come in, look at the market, look at the cards they like, and just buy them all at max level. Because
Yeah, ideally.
without those players, the game is just the assets are not going to ever go up. You have to bring in those guys that want to play at the top league, want things to go up, because again, they're like, but you're making the whales happy. It's like without the whales, you guys don't have a game anymore. You can play SPS for 0.00001 SPS. You can have DEC that doesn't hold peg anymore. You can have all of us, like just leave our assets. You can, you'll lose content creators, everyone, if the whales can't stick around in the game and be somewhat successful. So that's why I feel like giving something that rewards you for either being a whale or playing the game for a long time. Because we're not even at the 1 year mark. So if you're halfway to leveling the cards, you're going to get a max level copy too. And extras, because Matt has said he wants these to be in the game for 2 years. I admit, he said like maybe I'd only do it for 1 year, but he wants it for 2 years. This set of rewards cards.
Yeah, but also in gold level, gold chests, you don't get nearly as many cards. So I think people that playing at gold level are not necessarily the poor people. I mean, obviously there is a big difference money wise, but it's still quite substantial if you want to be competitive in gold and play with a max gold deck. It's still a substantial amount of money that you're putting in. And at some point, if you're getting to a point where you have level 9 of a common card and level 8 of the same common card gold foil, instead of selling one to maximize the other, you're just stuck. You have to be buying additionally from the
Yeah,
regular foil or from the gold foil, and the other one just being useless for
but
your
you
account.
wouldn't be stuck. You'd be able to go buy them, right? Because other people would be selling them. So
Okay,
sure,
but you buy.
you'd be kind of stuck, but you'd be able to go to the market, buy what you need to finish your level, and maybe you're able to mint your max level one too, is what we could allow them to include in that, and maybe that fixes the problem that you're referencing. Because then you're not
Or
stuck. You just have to go to the market to finish it if you can't get there in your time that you're earning.
see, but also think about it. A bot farm can just buy one max card from like one max common card, unlock all their cards, sell the max card, and sell the rest anyways. There are ways around it because
Okay,
once you
well then, yeah, that could be done. That could be a way around it, but then you'd have to buy the maxed card
and
at
then you
least
can sell it
once.
even if it's like for a small loss. You sell it back, and then you have all your cards minted anyways.
Yeah, but you know what though? Even then, at least they're having to do market actions, so that is a little bit more feasible, because it's not probably gonna be a very cheap card. Because I'm still thinking we're gonna have to burn a voucher and pay EDC to mint these. I don't think it's going to be a very profitable thing for people who don't have the money to do it. Like, I think if you have like 10 copies, it's probably going to cost you $10 to mint them on a common card, and a voucher. Given a voucher is like, so it's probably like literally it'll probably be 1,000 DEC per copy plus a voucher, something like
The
that.
best thing, the best thing I think they can do to address that is the higher level you are minting, the lower per BCX DEC you have to burn. So this way that incentivizes people to actually sell higher level cards than one BCX cards. So that can circumvent people just flooding the market with one BCA cards,
Yeah,
thus
I think
crashing the
I
price.
think when you see how much certain people have complained about how many cards there are in the ecosystem when it comes to these soulbound cards, the idea that you'd be able to unlock those and mint them all would be pretty wild. I do admit that they wouldn't all be able to come to the market if you have to pay to do it. So maybe you could be right, or maybe they could go that route. I just know I've heard Matt say multiple times that you'd have to have a maxed copy. Every time that aggro's ever brought up unlocking, every time they've been asked about unlocking, and people have been like, "Can we pay DEC and vouchers to unlock cards?" And it's like, "Yeah, but after maxed, or after." So in his mind, to me, it seems like he's only going to let you unlock and sell them if you have a max level copy. And I
It
really
might
feel
be
like,
it might be the case. I'm just thinking that, in my opinion, I'm on the opinion that it won't, but it totally could be. Yeah, and I'm fine either way. Was what I was saying. But I know a lot of people won't be fine.
how do I see it now? I was going to
See
say we
what?
talk about something else for a minute before we end the show, because it's coming out tomorrow and it's guild power.
And what you want to
Um,
see?
my balance.
Oh, well, you just disabled your
Yeah,
bottom
I
people.
disabled the bot because I thought it made me hit to combine all. Maybe I'll re-add it if I was wrong, since I now
And
know what
you
time
also
to
you
go and
owe
check.
apology. Also, you
But
owe apology to Axler.
I keep trying to use that bot, but it still has the bug that made me stop using it last time, and that's that it shows your energy at 0 all the time. And
You
that
just
one
need to
kind of.
refresh once, and it shows it normal.
No, I've done it multiple times. It shows it right up here in his toolbar, and then but it turns this one into a 0. It's
Oh,
weird. You can fix it sometime though. And yeah, Darkest Night makes a point that the gold foils for him have just he's been able to use them in brawls, so he can play more gold foil brawls. I definitely see different rules for foil and gold on whatever the unlocking is. I think there'll be different rules because forcing everyone to have a max level gold seems ridiculous, and to unlock because there's going to be a whole bunch of people that don't have a max level gold anything or only one card. So that is probably that is probably the one thing that I would say there'd have to be a different way you could unlock those ones.
yeah, and if you have same level of gold and regular, yeah, okay, gold one helps you play pros, but why would you need the regular anyways? You can just play gold anywhere.
Yes, true, but I think he's just saying it's given him gold cards because he doesn't want to go buy them. So now he has
No,
some to use.
yeah, yeah,
but
definitely helps. Yeah,
one of the things I think Darkest Night actually is the one that made this point, so I'll give him credit for it about guild power that I just wanted to mention. Is that for the first time in the game, they're giving you a way to add value to your account by contributing to your guild. And the reason why, and I don't think a lot of people are looking at it this way, is because now when I contribute to my guild, I get a guild power number that's in there. And there should be a number that is publishable. And then all of a sudden, I go to you, Baby Omega, and go, you know what? My guild's been treating me kind of bad. They're not guaranteeing me a spot in the brawls. But I've contributed 4 million points to my guild. Any chance if I came to your guild and brought my 4 million points with me that you could guarantee
sure,
me a
man.
spot in a
I,
brawl?
I got you, man. I got you.
Yeah,
I was
you
big.
got you, right? And so then I jump ship and I level up all your buildings with 4 million points worth of stuff. And, you've got to keep me happy if you're the guild master. So you got to make sure you tell everybody Brawl 10 is for Steve. No one else
Well,
takes that, or I'm kicking you out of the guild unless you have more than 4 million points. But I don't know if it'll ever get that competitive, but it's going to be one of the first times. And it's kind of disappointing that all the money we already have put into the guilds, this
well,
didn't
yeah,
work
yeah.
with.
That's sad.
But it's an interesting thing to be able to play this, especially with new buildings coming, where you can go a little more ham, because like one of the things that has made so many guilds go so slow is it's such a permanent spend, right? You're like, and the DEC's just gone, but now if a new building comes out and it's 10 million DEC to level up, I could throw in 2 million DEC and just be like, all right, I put in 20%, guys. Everybody else better put in 20%. And if not, I can go, all right, fine. I'm out of here. I'm going to go to a guild where they're going to appreciate my 2 million DEC that I just spent.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean, you can obviously still see how much everybody contributed, but they cannot be threatening. They cannot be blackmailing the guild leader by saying, "Oh, you don't want to make me happy? Think about it again. See how much I'm taking out with me on the way out."
yeah, exactly. And so, and also, it does also help. One of the other things, at least going forward for new guilds, is people not leaving when maybe you wanted them to, because they're like, well, I put so much into this guild, I'm not going to leave. I know our guild people have sold their spots to other people, so that people could get into the guild. And I think that's kind of a normal thing in the past that has happened, because someone will be like, like you can look and see how much you put into each one of the buildings, and you could be like, look, we're a top 30 guild. We have X amount of buildings maxed. We're brawling in tier 5. I want to leave, but if I'm gonna leave, I'm not gonna just leave. I'm gonna try to get somebody to pay me for my spot, and then they get all the credit for everything that I've put into it. And we've done that with like a couple people in
Yeah,
our
makes
guild.
sense. And now it makes it easier, which
Yeah,
is
and
good.
now it makes that way easier because people could just move. And I'm glad they did this, and I think it's something some people are sleeping on. It's gonna let the new guild buildings come out, need a lot more DEC to level, and be much easier and enticing for people to level. And I'm thinking that they're going to do some pretty cool things with those new buildings. But that's
Yeah.
getting way into the future, because we're getting land first, and we're getting SPS staking for rewards first, and then
Actually, first we're getting the SPS taking, then we're getting land.
yeah, SPS staking, then we're getting land. But tomorrow we're getting guild power, and then
Yes.
next Monday we'll have a town hall to talk about. We went a little bit longer tonight, but some people showed up and we got kind of spirited. But I do have to get going because my office is doubling as a bedroom for my in laws who are visiting tonight.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate having you. And see, we had no content, and still we were like, we went even longer than we were supposed to.
Yeah, and guys, I do owe 100 SPS giveaway, but because it got late tonight, I'm going to do that spin tomorrow and send that out to somebody, and I'll do our post tomorrow instead of tonight, on sharing this onto Hive.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
everybody
you.
who hung out with us. I hope you all have a great night. You want to say goodbye?
Yeah, thank you guys for being, and don't remember next week, same time, same place. We'll see you in episode 3. Uh, have fun.
Yep. Thanks everybody.